We are finally getting a WWE Draft fully under Triple H and with actual general managers. That's so refreshing, man. For the past few years, it was like, okay, who's making these draft picks and why? SmackDown picks? Who's SmackDown? SmackDown, what is your last name? So it's going to be so refreshing. We're going to see Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis fighting for a better roster. Also, WWE confirmed that CM Punk will be appearing on both shows. That's great. I don't think he should announce the draft picks. I mean, that doesn't make any sense anymore. He could be like a host, I guess. And I would keep CM Punk on Monday Night Raw. Also, Fightful Select was told that WWE are trying to make NXT more of a third main roster brand. So a lot of focus is going to be put on NXT. In my video, I only have 2 draft picks for NXT, but I gotta tell you, this video was a lot harder to make than I thought it would be. Going into it, you're like, okay, Seth Rollins would look cool in blue. I kept switching rosters because I thought a lot of people need a change of scenery. But at a certain point, you realize, if I switch everybody, we end up with the same show we have right now, with a different color. I don't have a lot of draft picks, but I do have some game changers, and let me know in the comments below where you disagree with me, because I'm very open-minded with this. It was kinda hard to make it make sense. So let's talk about the draft picks I would love to see in the 2024 WWE Draft. Monday Night Raw gets Sheamus. Now, I'm not even sure where Sheamus is right now, but he just came back to the WWE, so he's almost like a free agent in my opinion. Now, it's a very easy choice. The biggest story with Sheamus in the WWE right now is the WWE Intercontinental Championship. I feel like that is a bigger story than Sheamus winning a World Heavyweight Championship at this point, because that is the only title he never held in the WWE. So whether it's against Sami Zayn or Chad Gable or anyone really, I feel like that's the story he should focus on a little bit later, but I just don't see a reason for Sheamus to be on SmackDown. Last time he was on SmackDown, he got piss all over his face. So I bet he agrees with me right here. Another pick for Raw is Carmelo Hayes. So this dude is basically like the future of the WWE, right? I don't know if he's ready. I feel like he is. It's just one of these draft picks from NXT that would really make a lot of impact in my opinion. And as you guys know, Raw is a very long show. It's a very long show. Thankfully, it's good now. Used to feel like torture if I'm being honest. Feels like Raw is a bit more loose, obviously because they have a lot more time. So I feel like Raw would be a better choice for Carmelo Hayes. I would draft the Pride to Monday Night Raw. Look people, we got the WrestleMania match against the Final Testament. It was alright. The rivalry though is not doing anything for me. I'm over it. I don't want to see it again. Honestly, I'm also over LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. I don't give a shit anymore if I'm being honest. But obviously the story ain't over yet. When it comes to the Pride, I feel like there's a big potential for a pretty interesting feud. The Pride versus the Judgment Day. 2 of the biggest factions in the WWE right now, if we're not talking about the Bloodline, so I feel like that would be really beneficial for both the Judgment Day and the Pride, because I don't remember the last time we got the Judgment Day feuding with an actual faction, so I believe this would benefit both groups. Also, to Monday Night Raw, Damage Control. They really need a change of scenery in my opinion. They need a fresh start, and I'm so over this Damage Control versus Bayley rivalry. I don't want to see it anymore. I feel like I got that conclusion, I got that closure at WrestleMania. And you know, Bayley is the women's champion, so I'm keeping Bayley on SmackDown. I'm drafting Damage Control to Monday Night Raw. I would also draft Bianca Belair to Raw. In some ways, Bianca Belair and Jade are similar, 2 very dominant women. Why don't we have each of those on Raw and SmackDown? It seems like Bianca did everything she could on SmackDown in my opinion. And obviously one of the biggest WrestleMania main events possible right now is Bianca Belair versus Rhea Bloody Ripley. Mother. You know, Bianca versus Mother. I also kind of believe Bianca being drafted to Monday Night Raw is going to be one of the first draft picks for Raw. Also to Monday Night Raw, LA Knight. So look people, there's no way with everything going on that LA Knight is going to win the WWE Undisputed Championship. What about the World Heavyweight Championship? I don't know. But look, Monday Night Raw has Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, CM Punk, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Damian Priest. To get the idea, I believe there's so much more potential for LA Knight to get more TV time on Raw. Nobody would complain about that shit. And like I've said, there's a bigger chance for LA Knight to win the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw then on SmackDown. Also, I know there's a big problem with that. We're running into problems already. Isn't he supposed to take that championship from Logan Paul? I don't know. This one I'm not so sure about, but Roman Reigns to Monday Night Raw. That was my original plan, but I'm changing my mind because Roman Reigns is in a rivalry against the Bloodline. Will be. We gotta keep Cody and Roman on the same brand. We just gotta keep them on the same brand now. I know it sucks, but I just don't see Roman Reigns going to Monday Night Raw, and I don't see how that makes any sense at the moment, even though I would love to see that. We gotta finish with the storyline. To NXT of a Draft, Shinsuke Nakamura. Look, people, Shinsuke is just losing. He's not doing anything at the moment. Absolutely nothing. And I believe we could get something like with Baron Corbin. Shinsuke Nakamura would be so much more valuable in NXT than on Raw and SmackDown. I would actually be so excited about those pay-per-views. I know not everybody likes, main roster superstars going to NXT, but if they're going to treat NXT like this third brand, I don't see a big problem with that. I know like some of you may feel like this is disrespectful to Shinsuke. I don't think so. I feel like it would be really, really refreshing, and I would love to see him in the NXT Championship title picture. Obviously, Cody Rhodes to SmackDown. I believe he already is, but I'm not so sure. Either way, we're going to get the official answer. Now he's just on both brands because obviously people want to hear from Cody Rhodes. I would obviously bring him to SmackDown because he's the WWE champion. I'm keeping Damian on Raw. I'm, drafting Cody to SmackDown. Also to SmackDown, Bronson Reed. I don't know if it's going to help, but he needs a change of scenery. It's just one of these cases, That's basically it, really. I just came up with that shit. It's a dumb idea, but I wouldn't mind seeing Bronson Reed versus Logan Paul for whatever reason. From NXT to SmackDown, Baron Corbin. It's time. What he did in NXT was great. He reinvented himself, and that's what I'm talking about. NXT can really help these talent that kinda got lost on the main roster for whatever reason. Like, Baron is really talented, really great dude, and I believe it's kind of time now that people care about Baron Corbin again, and obviously I'm drafting him to SmackDown because of Braun Breaker. So we could do this little tag team run and then turn it into a rivalry. And by the way, I wouldn't mind seeing Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Also to SmackDown, Gunther and Imperium. Look, people, Gunther lost the Intercontinental Championship. It's time for a fresh start. It almost needs to feel like a reset button. Same old good Gunther, the Ring General, but on SmackDown. And he doesn't care about Sammy, Gable, he doesn't give a shit about this. He's on a different brand. And maybe his focus is Cody Rhodes, the WWE Championship. Now, I'm kind of worried about that because I feel like he's not dropping the championship until we get that Rock match. So I don't know if I want to see Gunther losing, but it's just an absolute dream match. And eventually, we need to get that. They need to be on the same brand. People, I gotta tell you, I want to see Nia Jax on SmackDown. So look, we're keeping Jade on SmackDown. I know Jade is cool. She has a cool entrance. She has a couple of cool moves. Now it's time to prove what you have. You gotta lift Nia Jax with that finisher and drop her. I'm giving Nia Jax way too many compliments lately. Not feeling good, but I mean, that is kind of a dream match in a way. That is the biggest Jade match we could see in the WWE right now. For whatever reason, we just want to see that shit. This is the rivalry that could actually put over Jade Cargill more than the 6 women tag team matches ever could. And the last pick, the Friday Night SmackDown, Jey Uso. Are we keeping Jimmy and Jay on the same brand? Yeet. Very simple reason. Roman is on SmackDown, Bloodline is on SmackDown, The Rock is going to be on SmackDown most likely. This Bloodline storyline we are about to get is going to be really, really good. Roman Reigns' babyface return is going to be generational. It's going to be great, we're gonna love that shit. Trust me on this. I have a good feeling. And eventually, obviously it's not gonna happen in 1 week if WWE are smart. Eventually, Jay's going to help Roman. Jimmy is going to help Roman. OG Bloodline versus New Bloodline. Perhaps Survivor Series. Perhaps The Rock is a part of that match. I honestly feel like Roman Reigns is going to be the leader of the OG Bloodline, and The Rock is going to be the leader of the New Bloodline. I know it does make any goddamn sense for Jay to help Roman Reigns, but we've seen weirder stuff in professional wrestling that got, explained down the line. Something needs to happen. I don't know what it is at the moment, but it needs to be a slow process, and eventually, I feel like it's gonna be good, man. I really have a good feeling about this shit. I really hope that's the case, rather than just the Usos reunion, because we're brothers, Us. I don't know. I need something stronger. But these are my draft picks. Let me know yours in the comments below, where I made some big mistakes, because I tried to make it make sense. Because like I've said, you can't draft everybody. It will turn into the same show with a different color, But thank you for watching this video. Allow me to finish my story. 500,000 subscribers, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.